Tommy Tuberville, welcome to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I hope you're doing well, sir.
I'm doing great. I remember that song that Alabama used to, Leonard Skinner used to come out in between the third and fourth quarter at Bryant-Denny Stadium when we played over there and sing that song. That didn't go over real good.
Sure. Yeah, and they've added a few words to it, so it's a little Roll Tide Rope. But what are you up to this offseason as we're preparing? And certainly I think everybody's anticipating a possible announcement from you in the next few weeks, possibly going to run for governor of the great state of Alabama.
Yeah, I've been traveling the state, talking to people, seeing what their concerns are, what they'd like to see happen to their state over the next few years, and kind of running up the flagpole and trying to find out, if I can help. So that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. I'm kind of doing all my research, and it's been a interesting and fun ordeal. I've been all over the place talking to a lot of people.
I'm just curious, what is that concern that you hear from Alabamians as they look at the what's happening in Montgomery?
Well, they'd like to have more of a voice. It seems like nothing ever gets done to help the people from Alabama. There's laws that are passed, but they seem to not affect anybody that their constituents basically want to see happen to. What happens is, you get these guys that go to Montgomery to vote, and things get in kind of a turmoil in terms of, do I need to do this? Do I not need to do that? And basically the people from Alabama want things done to help them get more jobs, make their life a little simpler, make education better, and a lot of these legislators go to Montgomery and nothing ever gets done.
All right, so I've got to ask, as close as you are with a lot of coaches, when you tell them that you're possibly considering running for governor, your friends that are in the coaching business, what do they tell you? I'm just curious.
Well, basically most of them have told me you're trying to get an easier job. Coaching is very difficult, especially in this day and time of social media and instant gratification, all the things that go along with the media, with recruiting, with budgets. It's a great job, but it's a very time-consuming job, 13, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week for most of the year, because you're basically the parent to 120 18, 19, 20-year-olds, and they're away from home for the first time, and usually when my phone rings, it's not ever any good. So it's a hard job, but so is being governor, so is being senator, so is being anything in politics, because you got to work through problems, and you got to make things happen, and hopefully you make a lot of decisions that go the right way that help a lot of people.
Coach, when you look at Nick Saban coming into the state, and I don't think we could probably find anybody that understands where Alabama was when Nick Saban took over this program. I think you could probably help us understand this. We call it the dark days of Alabama football. It was a bad era there but help us understand from your perspective what Nick Saban has been able to accomplish, because I don't think even he could have predicted this type of success here in T-Town.
Well, the thing that you've gotten is you've gotten consistency, and that's what it's about in any kind of business, and no way around it. This is nothing but a business in college football. And Nick came in with a plan, and basically he said, "Get out of my way. This is the plan that we're going to use, and we're going to stick with it. I don't need any help implementing it. I just need support. When things go bad, I still need support because I know it works." And that's what he's done. He's done a heck of a job. But again, it's all about building consistency, having one person that has the plan, one person that makes the decision, like Nick, and he would not have come there had he not had full reign, because I think that there was a lot of people trying to help make decisions in the 5 or 6 or maybe 7 head coaches previous to that. Alabama's an excellent institution. It's got a lot of potential to have a great athletic program and obviously an opportunity to have a great football program because of the interest in the state. but you have to have somebody at the helm that people are going to listen to. And Nick didn't start off very well over there. He started very slowly, but as things went, he kept with his plan, got better and better, and now look what's happened. He's running the show. People have gotten out of his way, and I don't think that happened to a lot of the other head coaches that were over there. They were getting a lot of advice, a lot of help. People want to, put their nose into it and think they know a lot about it, but you can't have that really in any business. You can get advice, but at the end of the day, one person has to make that decision, and obviously Nick's done that, and it's worked very well.
Yeah, that's a great summary, because you look at what he's been able to do on the field. He accomplished a lot off the field too, and to have some of that results. I mean, he cleaned up a lot of the issues I think that you're talking about. Coach Tuberville right now inside the game here in Tuscaloosa as we move forward. Let me ask you about faces right now in college football. You've been in some of these channels behind the scenes, and we've had some new legislation out a couple of weeks ago about high school coaches being prevented from working camps. Help us understand where you stand on some of the issues that the NCAA released a couple of weeks ago, handing down to some of these college coaches. A lot of them didn't agree with some of the new legislation.
Well, it's typical. In any situation you have, it's like running a government. You have some people want things ran one way and some want it the other. I've always been, I've been in it for a long time. I've never been for sudden change. And what's happened is people look at high school coaches that's gotten too involved in recruiting, and they're trying to limit their access to the coaches and coming on their campus and all those things, which is wrong. You shouldn't do that. You should do everything you possibly can to help out high school coaches, help out the recruits in terms of everything that's legal within the NCAA rules. And coaches need a way to access and evaluate these players more and more because there's so much involved in it. So, it's a typical NCAA, and a lot of these rules now are run by Division I, Division II coaches, Division III coaches, and when you have 300 Division I, II, and III football programs, you're going to have differences of opinion, and people are going to want things to be even. You're not ever going to make it even when it comes to rules, because you're going to have the schools that are basically in the top 10 every year that are going to have a little bit more money and more prestige and a lot more TV time and the number and great coaching staff, and so it's never going to be even. So, but they keep trying every year to even it out.
What do you think is some of the big hurdles right now facing college football as we move forward?
Oh my goodness, I don't think there's any doubt the concussion syndrome that we have right now, in terms of people thinking that we have a sport that's ruining our kids because it's a very physical sport. I'd hate to see this country without football. And I was the president of the AFCA the last couple of years ago. Over 15,000 coaches. I had the opportunity to listen to at a lot of meetings, and these head doctors and people give their ideas about concussions. The one thing about concussions is you can't really tell if you have one or hadn't had one, what it was caused by. Obviously, there's trauma when you have big hits, but the thing that we're having right now is I think we've got 50% drop in Pop Warner football, and if we keep losing kids to play in football to go into some other sport, we're not going to have the sport that we have today. So right now, I think concussions are a big part of our problem. Obviously, there are concussions. The number one thing that all coaches want is safety for players. We want to keep that in mind, but we need to keep stressing teaching the right techniques of fundamentally blocking and tackling the right way, and I think we'll limit it. Now, there's more concussions in soccer than there is in football, but people point at football. It's a simple fact that it is a true collision contact sport, and it does get brutal at times, but this country's been a lot better and made a lot of kids better people because of the sport that we have.
Coach, when you look at, I don't know if you had a chance to watch Alabama's spring game on Saturday. They've got a quarterback that returns that led them to a national championship game appearance. They've got a hotshot freshman that come in and can flat out throw the football. He threw for 300-plus yards on Saturday. Did you have a chance to watch Alabama spring day? Any chance?
No, I tell you what, I tend not to watch spring football games. I know what they're about. Spring football games are basically for what you just said. It's for entertainment of the fans to really see a few of the players that might play next year. It's not in a true setting. It's not real competitive, but you can look at a quarterback because quarterbacks, they don't let them get touched very often, and they look good standing in the pocket and throwing, not worrying about getting hit from the blind side and all those things. But I am of the understanding that they had several quarterbacks that played very well. To tell you, the kid that led them to the championship game last year, I think his name's Hurt, is going to be hard to beat out because he makes things happen with his legs. That can really takes away really how much you can throw the football when you can make plays like he made with his legs last year, and he just came up a little bit short. But they'll have a quarterback. I'm going to be interested to see the offense that they're instituting now that they've gone, through 3 offensive coordinators in the last 6 months. Nick, I'm sure, kind of been ranting and raving about what they want to do. I'm sure they're going to go back to running the football like he has in the past, winning championships with a great tailback.
Well, Coach, he's also made some point of emphasis here that he's going to take advantage of some of the rules that are flexible in college football, and I think he's elaborated a couple times that he's going to take advantage of this run-pass option, ineligible linemen downfield. They're not calling that. I think you could probably agree with that. We're seeing linemen down 5 and 6 yards down the field, and my understanding is they're going to try to take advantage of that until they see that it's going to be called consistently.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. But they do call it. I've been running that for the last 5 years. Ever since I went to Texas Tech, I've been running this chunk and duck offense that I call it. It's an offense where you do have it's a run read option and might throw the ball down the field. And sometimes your offensive linemen are down the field. As a matter of fact, the year Ohio State won the national championship about 3 years ago, we played Ohio State very well and had a touchdown pass called back because we had an offensive lineman 4 yards down the field. And you're going to have that call, quite often if you do it a lot because the coaches on the other side are going to send plays into the officials, the head official, and he'll send it to the officials that will do the game that week and watch for that. But, that is a rule. It's a 3-yard rule now. You can't be 3 yards down the field. But it is an exciting play, I'll tell you that.
Coach, let me ask you, help me present the case to Alabama fans. Probably 90% of our audience is Alabama fans. No hard feelings here, but we do remember you raising the thumb in the end zone. So we're trying to get over that, okay? I help me make the case why Alabama fans should consider voting for you if in fact you run.
Well, if people don't vote for me for that, that's just part of it. But whether you're an Auburn fan or Alabama fan, first thing you can say to yourself, it's the best college football game in the country, the best rivalry in the country, and these are the best fans in the country. I've been all over, and let me tell you, the fans are very fickle about their team. They love their team. They support them. They back them. And when you win, you should brag, and when you lose, you should take it from the other side. Fortunately for us, for 6 years, we were winning games, and I was sticking one finger up at a time, got to a thumb, and even got to the second hand. I understand that, but again, this is being a governor of a state is being the head coach of both teams and everybody else in the state. It's a small thing that goes on when you're talking about a rival game between Auburn and Alabama. When you're talking about people living a better life and having an opportunity to get a great education for their kids and all the things that go along with it. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people, if I were to decide to run, that would say I'm not voting for the guy because of that reason, but it's really the wrong reason. But I'm still proud of that. 6 years in a row is going to be hard to beat. Nick might do it, And I don't know where he's at right now. He's probably, 2 or 3 games.
It's 3 in a row, 5 out of the last 6, 7 out of the last 9.
Okay, so he's done a heck of a job, and so it's going to be even more if he stays over there, because I see the recruits that he's getting, and he's going to win a lot of games. Hopefully he'll retire before he gets my record.
Well, you never know. But, hey, listen, I will say this. If there's one way that you could to be able to convince a lot of Alabama fans, just get an endorsement from Coach Saban. He didn't like talking politics. Anytime we bring it up, he sort of shoots at us media guys. But I could almost promise you get an endorsement from Coach Saban, and we can go ahead and move you to Montgomery. Coach, thank you again for jumping on for a couple of minutes and talking some CFB. We'll certainly follow the decision. When do you think you'll make that decision officially?
Probably in the next week or two. Just probably by the end of this month. Still got a little work to do. I've got some traveling coming up, and we'll see what happens. But like I said all along, if there's somebody that will convince me they can do better jobs than me, hey, I won't run, and I'll vote for them, because I think everybody in this state deserves better than what they're getting right now. We're lasting too many things. So we'll see what happens here in the next week or so.
Well, and I think I just followed up. We're number 1 in football in this state. I'd love to be number 1 in a lot of other things, and I continue to see
That's
Alabama
correct.
47, 48, and 49 in a lot of very important categories. It's disappointing for the state. Hopefully those things can change.
And it starts with leadership, no matter who's doing it. Like you said, Alabama suffered there for a while, but they got a good leader in there, and that's what it takes. So we'll see what happens.